Welcome back, everybody. Rich Brubaker here, founder of Collective Responsibility with AsktheCollective 28. This week we're going to answer a question from Jilly Back about when will companies take responsibility into their business practices, into their products, and really into the core of their business. It's a great question, and it's one that I thought about quite a bit over the last couple of days about how to answer this for you, because on the one hand, I am starting to really understand that these questions are ones that we should all be answering, not just in business, but also as individuals, government, academic, NGO. We have reached a stage where these challenges are so big that we should all be asking ourselves these questions. And that for me is kind of a difficult part. But keeping this to business, up front, I think that there are a couple ways to address this. First off, when I'm looking at when companies take responsibility for their actions, for their products, for their processes, there's kind of two ways. The first one is they're pushed into it. Government regulation, NIMBY protest, whatever it is. It's something that takes their business model and literally physically pushes it. It makes them change. It's kind of like the doctor saying, if you don't change, you're going to die. The second way is when they're pulled. And that could be through market, that could be through a leader's inspirational message, it could be through just a transformation and maturity of the business model, a recognition of their externalities, and a commitment to change. And to be honest, I think we're so focused on looking at the first group against the size of the challenges that we're wondering when are more companies just gonna get it. But for me, actually, I want to focus a little bit more on the other side of it, because I really think that while regulation is fantastic and it helps, and I think that NIMBY protests are definitely a piece of this, that at the end of the day, companies need to be inspired to see why this is important for them. And second to that, I would argue that we're seeing more and more of these organizations coming to the market. We're seeing more and more brands realize that their negative externality is something that is for them to address regardless of whether or not there's a regulation, because the times have changed, but also because they understand it's a better business. And I'm going to give you one example, which is I met with the chairman of one of the largest textile manufacturers in the world, and he and I were discussing about how and when sustainability came into their business model as a sourcing strategy. For this company, what they had done was about 5-6 years ago, they changed their entire sourcing scorecard when they go to the vendor for the first visit to actually look at the social, environmental, and economic footprint of that supplier as a function of sustainability, separate from but related to their actual ability as a business to deliver on time, at quality, at price. When they baked these in, what he found almost immediately, according to our discussion, was that they were able to pick better vendors who produced at better quality, on time, with price, but also economically they were far more stable. They were a lot less likely to outsource anything. They were a lot less likely to emit anything. They were the organizations that were investing into the business for the long term, which I think in that specific instance kind of addresses this. Now, do we have enough of these brands? No. However, as we've seen with the recent plastic straw bans or the plastic straw announcements, companies are now, by force or by inspiration, see that these externalities are something that they can take a hold of. Now, I don't know if Starbucks or if Costa or any other coffee shop or Coca-Cola, I don't know if they're going to address those issues fast enough for their own systems to succeed. However, what I look at is who are the entrepreneurs who are going to replace them, or the innovators who are going to bring them forward. And for me, I think, as I reached out to you 6 months ago to learn more about the work that you're doing, actually this is where I'm far more interested, because what I've been finding through my interview series, Entrepreneurs for Good, through my research of other socially minded, environmentally minded entrepreneurs, and also the research that you're seeing around the M&A activity of companies like Unilever and Danone and these big organizations, the power of the entrepreneur, the power of the innovator to bring a solution to the market is something that I feel is the next level. It is the next 25 years of our economies. These entrepreneurs, these innovators, they're understanding a specific pain point that is being faced by a community, be it for health, education, air quality, access to water, whatever it may be. They're building a product around that. That value system is then resonating with their consumer base or their community, however they view it. And that is the value of that business model, to the point where the leadership never questions whether or not they should or should have not done the right thing. They're always looking for the next right thing to do. And I see a lot of this. If I look at Hong Kong right now and the work of David Yong, he started off trying to build a community of people who would not eat meat on Mondays, called Green Monday. He spread that message. He helped bring groups like Beyond Burger into Asia as a pilot. At the same time, he was bringing this community together. He's showing that these products have value. He was proving his own business model, and then he went into product innovation and he released a pork product. In Bangkok, I met with a young man, 25, 26 years old. He's into rooftop farming. He has 20 farms across the city of Bangkok and has an economic model for it, such that the hotels are themselves the major buyer, but he's allowed to sell off-site. It wraps into his family business, but it was very clear that he has a really smart idea, a smart business, but he's not sitting still. He's getting into robotics, he's getting into apps, so the future of farming. Individuals like these are the ones who really inspire me, and I believe whether they are inside of a business or they're separate from it, they're the ones who are ultimately going to help answer this question of how firms will, over the long term, understand that sustainability is the only way for their business model to succeed. So I hope that answered your question. I'm more than happy to go deeper, be it face-to-face the next time in Bangkok, or in the comments below, or by setting up another video. But I really thank you for your question. It's an important one. It's one that I will say, it's very easy short-term to be very pessimistic or be very down about. But if I start looking at the trends of what business is doing in Asia in particular, and how you're starting to see more and more of a community built around this where the business models make sense, I only see really good things in the future. Will it save our bacon? Will it stop every single crisis? That's left to be seen. But what I feel we should do, what I'm certainly focused on, is helping those who really want to move this ball forward into the right spot. Move sustainability into the core, fix those negative externalities, keep the positive externalities, and really find ways to bring balance to our communities, our cities, and to our region. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that this is valuable to you. If it was, please subscribe down below. Thank you very much, and have a great week.